Hello everyone, this is Dance Crochet and today's video is a special one. We're going to crochet an iPod cover but with a super twist towards the end when we finish our cover. So to make this lovely iPod cover you will need to choose the color of yarn you wish to crochet with. Of course pick your crochet hook. As you can see I've picked 3.5 meters. If you want you can also pick 4 meters. A button of your choice, a needle and of course scissors. Let's begin by making a slip knot. In case you don't know how to make a slip knot, you can always check my other videos that show you how to make a slip knot amongst other stitches. Now, crochet as many chains as possible as long as it's the correct measurement for your iPod. Remember, always have your iPod next to you so you can check the measurement. Start with 25 chains as a start. And later, if you need to add more, you can always add more chains. Now that you're done, simply wrap the chains around your iPod to be sure of the right amount of chains you have crocheted. As you can see, I have the right amount and it's a great measurement, so we can continue now. Now make a slip stitch. After you finish making a slip stitch, it's important for you to add a stitch marker at your stitch where you just made a slip stitch. Remember, if you don't have a stitch marker, you can always use a safety pin or a little piece of colored yarn. The reason why we're adding a stitch marker is to prevent adding extra stitches, but also to keep our project nice and neat. After you're done adding your stitch marker, make a single crochet stitch in every chain. Start by inserting your crochet hook into the chain that is next to your stitch marker. Then wrap the yarn over your hook and pull it through. This step you will need to repeat it all around. Remember that when we finish crocheting a row, in order to start round 2, we need to finish off, and the only way to do so is simply make a slip stitch, and then of course chain 1. What you could do now is simply continue the step by making a single crochet stitch in every stitch, and then when you're close to the end, make a slip stitch and chain 1. That will help you to make a number of rows until your iPod cover is finished. As I said before, you need to repeat the step until you think it's enough for your iPod. Don't forget there are many and different iPods in the market with different details such as size, length and height. At this point it's up to you on the amount you decide to crochet in order to get your iPod to fit your own crochet cover. In the video you can see that I just finished round 2 by making a slip stitch and of course chaining 1. Before I continue with round 3, I am showing you how to put a stitch marker in case you didn't put it yet when I had mentioned it before. Take a look on how to add a stitch marker and continue to crochet a single crochet stitch in every single stitch all around until you see your lovely iPod cover coming to life. Here is a quick look on how your iPod cover looks like after you have crocheted several rows, including the little detail in the back where you can see every slip stitch you made being in line, and without noticing it that much. So keep up the good work and see you at the end. So here we are, we just crocheted our lovely iPod cover and it looks great. Cut off the remaining yarn and let's start by taking the stitch marker off and get our needle ready. Now we will have to turn our project inside out. I know, it sounds weird, but as you can see in the video, there is a reason to turn our project inside out because we don't want the end of our corner to look different or ugly. The corners tend to change when you sew them on top, so in order to make our cover perfect, simply flatten it out and get it ready to sew our cover's end part. Generally, it's easy to sew the end part of your iPod cover and it does give you a great result. Now that we're done sewing the end part, quickly turn your project inside out again to see your result. Now, try putting your iPod in its new handmade cover, crocheted by you, and check whether the size and the form of the cover is just right for your iPod. Now that we are officially done with the first part of crocheting an iPod cover, have you thought of decorating your lovely iPod cover? Well, I think it's time for my surprise. Here's a quick clue. Out of all the Marvel heroes to pick, I actually went with the hero called Captain America. How is that related to the iPod cover that we just made? Well, the color as a start, but also it was a request from someone special. So, if you want, you can either decorate your iPod cover the way you want, or if you are a fan of crocheting superhero shields, then I am going to show you the basic but easy step in order to make the Captain America shield. So let's start from the basic, how to crochet a Captain America shield. We will begin with the star that is on the shield first. So, start off by making a slip knot. Then chain 4. After you're done chaining 4, insert your crochet hook into the second chain. Then wrap the yarn over your hook and pull it through. Now you'll have 2 loops on your hook. Then wrap the yarn once again over your hook and pull it through both loops. Now continue this step about 10 times and then make a slip stitch, and of course at the end of every slip stitch chain 1. While you repeat this step, you will realize that you are actually making a quick ring. So continue this step until you've done it about 10 times, make a slip stitch and then chain 1, and then I'll show you what to do. Now that we have our crochet ring ready, we will chain 4. That was 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, with your crochet hook, you will insert to the next chain by making a single crochet stitch. As you can see, I'm inserting the hook into the next chain and I'm making a single crochet stitch, as I'm showing you right now. So, simply what you have to do is repeat the step in each stitch until you reach to the part of your crochet ring, meaning the surface, where you actually first made your chain. So, we repeat this step. As you can see, that's nearly the last chain. And now that we're done with it, what we're going to do now with the hook is go exactly where I'm showing you with the hook, underneath it, and make a quick single crochet stitch. After we're done with that, as you can see, that's part of our star. We're going to go to the next stitch, as you can see, and we're going to make a single crochet stitch. We're going to make one so it's by itself. And here, as you can see, I'm showing you. And that's how slowly you're going to repeat the step by leaving one single crochet alone apart from the star you made, meaning the leg of the star you made. So as you can see, I'm crocheting another 4, and I'm simply going to repeat the step again by inserting our crochet hook into every chain and making, of course, a single crochet stitch. So as you can see, I just made one part of the star, one leg of the star, and now I'm actually making the second leg of the star. And a good thing is to have your first part of the star, which is the above part, which is 3 legs, meaning the middle part and the side parts of the star, as you can see, which I just finished now. Then to make the 2 last legs of the star underneath, remember you have to actually make a single crochet stitch apart from the 2 legs, which is the below part of the star. So I'll let you continue this by yourself and I'll meet you at the end. So here we are, we just finished crocheting the star, which was the basic part but also an important part of the Captain American shield. And I could say a little bit tricky. Now, for the rest of the shield, simply crochet with blue yarn by making about 3 rounds, then add a round of red, then a round of white, and another round of red to finish the part of the Captain American shield. Now, if you don't remember how it looks like, you can always Google Captain American shield and the first picture is the right one. So, there you have it, your Captain American shield all ready. But if you don't know how to add the star to the shield, simply get your needle and a bit of white yarn and sew it on. And then of course get yarn, red yarn, and sew the whole shield on the iPod cover as I did, as you can see. Now for our next part of finishing our lovely iPod cover, we are going to crochet a strap for our iPod cover because it actually helps to close, because we don't want our iPod to fall out. So before we start, have your button close by so we can test it. So to crochet a strap, simply count the stitch and then divide them. As I'm showing you in the video, the above stitches, you have to actually count them all to make sure how many they are and then divide them in an equal way, because if you don't, it's going to affect your strap. It might make your strap look more to the side than what into the middle where you'd like to have it. So as you can see, I am counting the stitches, but I've decided to crochet 5 stitches to make the strap, because I want the strap to be exactly in the middle. So before we begin though to crochet the strap, don't forget to add 2 stitch markers, so you don't have to make the mistake by adding extra stitches or end up making a bigger strap. But if you want to make a bigger strap, it's up to you, but don't forget, you'll need to be able to pass your headset or earphones through. So insert your crochet hook into the stitch, as you can see in the video, then wrap the yarn over your hook and pull it through, while with your other hand you pull the end of the yarn a little bit tighter. Now wrap the yarn again over your hook and pass it through the loop. And try pulling the end yarn a little bit tighter so it doesn't come off. Now what you're gonna do is simply put your hook back into the same stitch, wrap the yarn over your hook and pull it through. So now you're gonna have about 2 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn over your hook and pass it through both loops. And of course you can always chain 1 if you want it to be a little bit higher. So what you're going to do now is you're going to turn your work, and remember, I've left about 5 stitches which I'm going to crochet in. So if you want, you can leave the tail or take the tail with you so it can be hidden while you're making the strap. So wrap the yarn over your hook and insert your hook into the next stitch that is next to. Then wrap the yarn again, pull it through. You have 3 loops, add the yarn over your hook and pull it then under the 3 loops. Now you have the second stitch ready. So you're going to continue doing this until you get to the end of your stitch marker. And when you do get to the end of the stitch marker, I'll show you how to make the second row of your strap. It's really easy, and when I show you, you can simply add and add as many rows you want, depending on how long you want your strap. Here we are at our last stitch. Now what I'm going to do is insert the hook into the corner stitch. I know it's a little bit tricky to see, but you have to insert your hook as long as you get 2 loops extra over your hook. As I'm showing you, those are 2 loops. Okay, now wrap the yarn over your hook, pull it through, then wrap the yarn over your hook again and pull it through both loops. So there you have it. That was your last stitch for your strap. And I'm going to show you now how to add the second row of your strap. It's really easy. Just simply what you have to do is chain 1, as you can see in the video, and turn your work around and start making a single crochet stitch in every stitch until you get to the end, which you will chain again 1. So now we're done crocheting our strap. Be prepared and get your button. So what I'm going to show you in this video is simply how our strap will hold our button when we want to close our iPod cover. So we're going to test our button today. So what you'll have to do after you're done crocheting your strap, simply wrap the yarn over your hook and insert it into the same stitch where your hook is. Wrap the yarn again, pull it through, wrap the yarn again and pull it through the 3 loops as you can see in the video. Now make a chain. So at this point you're going to make as many chains you want, of course depending on the size of your button. As you can see, I've made about 5 to 6 chains, and at the same time I'm testing it just to be sure if our button can actually pass through or not. So it seems it can't, so I'm gonna add more chains to it. Remember that because of the size of the button you've chosen, you'll either have to increase or decrease the amount of chains. And the reason why is to make our button pass through, because we don't want our button to pass through in a tight way, nor for it to fall out. So as you can see, I've actually, the amount of chains that I made makes the button pass through perfectly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap the yarn over my hook and insert the hook into the next stitch, as you can see, which is the corner of our strap. Wrap the yarn over again, pull it through, add the yarn over again and pull it through, so it looks in a nice way. But because the chains are like that, I want to fill the top part a little bit more, and what I'm going to do is make a single crochet stitch all around through the strap. But before I do it, I'm going to cut that so I can put more yarn above. And you know, when you cut the yarn, the most easiest way to finish it off is simply put the yarn over the loop and make it as tight as you can. Don't worry about the tail, you can always hide it when you crochet above the strap. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit more. So now that we've done this, what you have to do is get more yarn and simply decide where you're gonna insert your hook. As you can see, I'm gonna do all the round part of the strap, and then I'm gonna go all around after the strap. I'm gonna go all around there. So what I'm doing is inserting my hook in the corner at the strap, as you can see, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the yarn over the hook and simply pass it through, and make a single crochet stitch in every stitch. So I'm showing you here, it's better if you insert the hook like this so the tail is hidden from the inside. You pull the yarn over, you add the yarn, then pull it through again, but be careful, hold the tail so it's a little bit more tighter, so it's not that loose. So add the yarn over your hook, pull it through, pull the tail down, and start making a single crochet stitch all around until you reach over your strap, and I'll show you our result towards the end. So here we are, we just finished crocheting our lovely iPod cover with Captain America shield on it. It fits perfectly and it looks great. If you like the video, subscribe, like me on Facebook, and follow me at Pinterest and Twitter. Thank you for watching Dance Crochet, and don't forget to share your creations with me by uploading them at Dance Crochet Facebook page, but also on Dance Crochet Google+.